If you've built 3D metal models for any amount of time, you've probably ran across a few cylinder-shaped pieces. This means you know how much of a pain in the ass it can be trying to get these small metal pieces perfectly round. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to achieve perfect cylinder-shaped pieces, so buckle up. By the end of this video, you'll be the cylinder master. How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a good week. I'm bending metal for fun, and I have an addiction to making small 3D metal models. Before we start, I'd like to go over some of the tools that I use to shape these cylinders. A set of assorted step mandrels, various sizes of round stock, and any other random items you can use to curve this metal. Now, I do have one more special tool that I use to shape these cylinders with, but we'll get to that later on in the video. If you're using another tool that I didn't show here, make sure to let us know about it in the comment section. Alright, let's get down to business. Or, as my boss would say,
are you gonna do something today?
I'm so glad I'm not there right now. Anyways, here I have just a regular larger shaped cylinder. This piece has 2 tabs and 2 female tab holes that connects each side of this type of cylinder together. You're going to want to start out with a tool that has a larger diameter than what you're needing your finished product to be. I go kind of big here, but I'm just trying to give you an example. You need to start big and then step your way down when you're shaping these cylinders. So my number one rule is, when you start shaping a cylinder, you start with the edges first. The reason being, if you start bending at the center, your edges tend to want to stay flat. The edges of your cylinder are the hardest points to put that bend into. Now we're going to go ahead and step down in the sizing of our tool. You want to make sure you're pressing hard with your thumb to hold that edge down. This will minimize the flat spot the edge likes to hold. Now that we're starting to get a nice round cylinder shape, let's step it down one more time before we start inserting any tabs. I grabbed the largest of my step mandrels for this, and this tool is actually smaller in diameter than what I'm needing my final piece to be, but I can still use this tool to make some final tweaks and get those flat edges worked out a bit. Here I grab my slightly larger tool, or paint tube to be more precise. I'm using this to bring back a nice round shape. Using the step mandrel gave my piece some unwanted wonkiness. This is an easy fix though. These pieces are not always going to look perfect as you're bending them. That's alright, don't get discouraged. You can always adjust the shape of the final piece once you're finished. Now this is what you want your cylinder to look like before you connect the tabs. Your cylinder needs to be slightly larger where there's a gap between the edges. Here I'm going to go ahead and fold the tabs inward so they're not visible on the outside of the piece. Go ahead and insert your tabs into the tab slots. Just be careful not to scratch the outside of your piece with your tabs. I cannot stress to you enough the countless number of times I myself have done this. When folding your tabs, you want to make sure you're folding them back into the direction of the edge of the piece that they are connected to. As long as you're sure your tab is pulled all the way in the tab slot before making your fold, this will pull your 2 edges together and make a nice, tight fit with no gaps. Now that we're done with our tabs, oh my goodness, I am sick of saying the word tabs already. I'm sure that I'm going to have to say it a lot more during this video, but hopefully I don't have to say it that much, that close together. Tabs. I bet you thought I wasn't going to say it again there, huh? Moving on. Now you can take your tool and you can make any minor adjustments to the shape of the piece until you achieve that perfect cylinder shape. Now that we've covered basic larger cylinders, let's move on to something a bit more challenging. Small cylinders. I've had multiple people say how much they hate making small cylinders. They can be a bit harder, but if you take your time, you can get them to look just as good as your larger, much easier cylinders. To start, I'm going to use the same technique as we did with the larger cylinder. The first tool I use is way larger than what my cylinder needs to be when finished. You can achieve nice gradual curves by doing this step. If you jump to a much smaller tool too quickly, it can give your cylinder harsh, unwanted bends. This is why we work our way down in size. As you can see, this cylinder actually has a round end cap attached to it. This actually lets you know what diameter your finished cylinder needs to be. As you're stepping down in the diameter of your tooling, you need to be making sure that you're starting your bend with the edge of your piece. This is going to help you prevent that notorious flat-edged cylinder you see in some people's builds. Tabs. See? You thought it had been too long and I done forgot. No, it's done stuck in my head like a bad song. As you can see, our cylinder's starting to get pretty good and round here. Let's step it down one more time in tooling. This next piece of round stock is actually just about right for the size the cylinder needs to be when completed. For these tiny bitty cylinders, you'll probably never get the bends you're looking for on the edges just by using mandrels and round stock. So you will have flat edges at this point. These edges are just too small, so you won't be able to get the right leverage with just your fingers. Well, you remember way back when I was talking about that special tool at the beginning of the video? This is where that tool comes into play. And that tool is, drum roll please, tabs. No, I'm just playing, it's round nose pliers. Yep, round nose pliers is the way we're going to straighten those flat edges out. So the way we're going to go about this is, you take your round nose pliers, slide them up inside of the cylinder, and then you're going to clamp down on the very, very edge of that cylinder, and you're going to have to take your wrist and twist your pliers and torque them around. That way the nose of them pliers can put that bend right on the edge of that cylinder where it's so hard to get a bend. Now the nose of these pliers are tapered, so this means one side of the cylinder is going to get bent a little bit better than the other side. This isn't a problem though, you just flip your cylinder around and use it in the other direction. You mess with this and bend your edges with your round nose pliers until you're happy with your result. Alright, now that we've took the time to learn regular larger cylinders, smaller cylinders, now we can move on to tapered cylinders. Ooh goody, this is a lot of people's kryptonite right here. You want to know why? It's because it's the beginning stages of the notoriously hard to shape cones. This is where the stuff of nightmares is created. But not to worry, I'm going to walk you through this step by step, so it's really going to be quite easy for you when we're done with this video. So when it comes to tapered cylinders, a lot of the same rules apply that we've went over for previous cylinders. And yes, there is a lot of different steps that apply to these cylinders that hasn't applied to our previous cylinders, but we're going to take this step by step and you'll see they're really not that bad. There's kind of a little trick to getting them done correctly, and once you know that trick, it's pretty much a breeze after that. Taking a look at our piece here, you can see that it has tabs. Yeah, I got a problem. But it has tabs on the edges to connect the edges together. That's not new. The thing that's new about this piece is the bottom of the piece is a lot wider than the top of the piece. This is going to play a big role in how we wrap this around our round tools. It's going to be a little bit different process than just a regular cylinder. So as before, you use a tool with a larger diameter than the diameter of your final piece. Now when you go to wrap this, it's more important than ever to start on the edge of these pieces. The reason being, you want to line that edge up with the spine of your mandrel or whatever you're using to round this piece. As you can see here, if you was to start in the middle of this piece, your edge would not be lined up with the spine of that mandrel. It would be crooked. Now that's better. This is how you want to start wrapping this around your mandrel. Now as before, you apply a lot of pressure right there on the edge with your thumb. Start wrapping. It's going to want to kind of candy cane down your mandrel a little bit. That's okay, that's what we're wanting this piece to do. So you wrap about half of the piece going one way, and then you switch sides, put your thumb on the other edge, and wrap the other half of the piece from the other direction. And this is going to give you a really nice start to this tapered cylinder. So you want to keep using your mandrel to round this piece, but the only part of this piece you want to concentrate on keeping tight around the mandrel is the bottom, more narrower part. As you're shaping this, you want the top of it to kind of stay loose around the mandrel. It'll kind of look like Dracula's cloak, his collar on his cloak. Once you get this looking pretty decent, we'll go ahead and step down in diameter for our tooling. What I do here is I just flip my mandrel around to the step part because it's more narrow. And what you do is you just keep working this piece around and rolling it inward and getting it tighter and tighter, while keeping the top of that, the more wide part of that cone, loose around your mandrel. The only part that's tight is the bottom, and that's going to keep that tapered shape. Now I went ahead and stepped down one more time to try to refine this a little bit further and try to get them edges, the flat spots, out of them edges. Now the flat spots are pretty pronounced right here, but we can always fix that later on down the road. Now we'll go ahead and fold our tabs down. We'll insert them into the slots, and then we'll fold them back towards the piece that they're connected to. This gives you a nice tight connection and it closes any gaps. Just make sure to pull on your tabs so that they're fully seated before you make that bend. You can take this time to refine your cylinder and make sure it's perfectly round. Get all the flat spots out of it. Just get it to where you're going to be happy with it. I think this one turned out pretty good. I want to go over one last cylinder before we call it a day. Let's talk a little bit about two-piece cylinders. Now these cylinders, you see them a lot in humanoid figures like Metal Earth, the Mandalorian, Deadpool, Black Panther. These types of models have a lot of these two-piece cylinders. And these cylinders aren't necessarily hard. It's just if you don't understand how to go about making them, they could give you some issues. So a lot of the times these directions will not tell you what to fold first. They just show what all needs folded, and that can be confusing. So this is going to be the main thing I want to show you when talking about these two-piece cylinders. So keep in mind, these cylinders are two cylinders mixed into one. One of these cylinders could be a regular perpendicular cylinder, while the other one could be a tapered cylinder. So all the previous rules that we've learned apply for this cylinder. But the only change is knowing which one to bend first. And no, you definitely don't want to try to bend these cylinders together at once. That does not turn out too well. So the things you want to take into consideration are, which one of these cylinders is going to be the most difficult to get into shape? Where are your tabs and your tab slots that connect the cylinders together? And also, out of which of these cylinders is the longest? So taking all these things into consideration with the piece that I have here, the bottom piece is what I want to start bending first. It's longer, it's tapered, so it's definitely going to be harder than the top piece, but what makes it even better is it's got the female slots on it rather than the tabs. Problem with this is, if you fold the cylinder with the tabs hanging off first, when you go to fold the other cylinder with the female slots, they can catch on the tabs as you're folding it around. So it's always better, if you can, to fold the female slotted tab cylinder first. This about wraps up all the tips and advice I have on making cylinders. Do me a favor, if you have any other tips or tools that I didn't hit on in this video, please make sure you post them down in the comments section and let everybody else know. You guys might know something I don't. The whole purpose of this channel is to help one another get better and more efficient at this hobby. This way we can all enjoy it just a little bit more. I really thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video so you don't miss the next one. And if you didn't enjoy it, I hope a dog craps in your yard.